All right, folks, good afternoon. Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax. The Democrats, whether they be in the press, Congress, or the White House, have ushered in calamity on nearly every level of American life. Perhaps their greatest damage has been to the U.S. economy and the bottom lines of millions of poor and middle-class Americans. Once the economic engine of the world, the United States can't even reverse our own fortunes, much less help our friends and neighbors. Believe it or not, the Democrats' destruction of the U.S. economy does tie into our analysis of the end-time prophecies. A poverty-producing progressive party. Say that 3 times fast. That's our analysis on today's preamble. As stated, our examination of the end times was very well received. The avalanche of email was from folks who appreciated our open and candid discussion and analyses. Many of you suggested future guests and offered your own journey in seeking the truth, but not everyone was happy. I got one unhappy email, one from Dorothy. She writes, "With all due respect, Chris, I do not turn you on for Bible thumping. Please, just the news. I'm well aware of how religious you are, but please don't turn your show into a revival meeting. Had to turn you off today. And if this is where your show is headed, we'll go back to watching Blue Bloods." In my mind, this is the kind of surrender mindset that led to leftists kicking God out of our schools. This is the thinking that surrendered to the left-wing extremists setting litmus tests for people of faith, alleging that principled, God-fearing folk can't serve in government. In my mind, this is what Ronald Reagan warned us about.
Without God, there is no virtue because there's no prompting of the conscience. Without God, we're mired in the material, that flat world that tells us only what the senses perceive. Without God, there is a coarsening of the society. And without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure.
Okay, so with all due respect, Dorothy, the news, which continues to be nothing but bad news for our people, is because of and direct proportion to this country's abandonment of a moral compass. The coarsening of the society that President Reagan warned us all was the inevitable outcome.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number. 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309 or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532.
The lack of a moral center leads to headlines like this from Newsweek, justifying forcing taxpayers to pay off debts from contracts that were legally entered into by adults for services the taxpayers didn't ask for or benefit from. Socialism by any other name. The consequences for a country that can no longer discern right from wrong has led to massive unpayable debt, massive increases in inflation, that in turn has led to direct harm to Americans' families, on our fixed income elderly in particular. Today we learned that the biggest ripoff ever foisted on America by a corrupt political class, Social Security, has made the largest cost of living increase in 41 years. With America's largest retiree population ever, the increases will hasten the insolvency of a failed program that only worked if America had a 40-to-1 worker-to-retiree ratio. According to Scientific American, our current ratio is 5-to-1, courtesy of the Democrats' culture of death that led to the slaughter of over 66 million babies in the womb since 1973. A moral and just people do not massacre their offspring. A God-centered culture of conscience doesn't kill the most vulnerable and helpless among us. But hey, opposing the mass slaughter of children in the womb is just Bible thumping, right? And that leads me to the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verses 5 through 7. When he broke open the third seal, I heard the third living creature cry out, "Come forward." I looked, there was a black horse, and its rider held a scale in his hand. I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of 4 living creatures. It said, "A ration of wheat costs a day's pay, and 3 rations of barley cost a day's pay, but do not damage the olive oil or the wine." End quote. This passage has been widely interpreted to foretell massive economic upheavals that led to scarcity and famine. As it says, it will take everything an average person can earn in a day to purchase enough wheat flour to bake a single loaf of bread. The Democrat Party has signed onto policies that have impoverished our nation's soul and our pocketbooks. Only a soulless and godless group would do such a thing. Now, I'm no theologian, and I'm uncertain if the Democrats' most recent attacks on prosperity are a sign of the end of days. But I'm willing to ask the question and seek better understanding of the real-world impact of having a morally corrupt party in charge of our lives. As good and conservative as Tom Selleck is, I don't think blue bloods will do that.